For a lot of us, running went from being a school sport to an Olympic news to a personal health tool and then a lifestyle choice. Today, we have someone for whom running is a passion big enough to be a career. He has done Ironmans, Ultras, Marathons and Triathlons. He's also among the first persons to complete an iron distance from India. Please wink at us.
You want me to wink like Priya Warrior? Okay. So I don't know if I could make that.
In your opinion, the best dancer ever on earth?
Ever. I don't think there's any better dancer like Michael Jackson. He's a god of dance.
If you had to run, swim or cycle to save your life, which one would you choose?
I would swim. I know that won't save my life, but at least I would like to die swimming.
What is your favorite running gear?
Barefoot.
What is the weirdest thing you did that you repent?
One thing I can remember is there was a Microsoft party, and the director of Microsoft was coming to the washroom, and there was a lot of rush. So I told the guys, hey guys, why are you waiting in the line? You can also use the hand wash tubs that are there for doing your stuff. And I didn't know that the director was behind me. And I looked back and I saw him and I was so embarrassed. He said, I like that idea.
How long can you hold your breath?
1 minute, 45 seconds.
Who's your current girlfriend?
Current girlfriend? You want me to really tell? Okay, my wife.
Welcome, Sunil.
Thank you.
We'll start off from the top, right? You are among the first Ironman distance completers from India. You're a finisher in Ultras, Ironmans. But tell us about your Ironman certification.
So Ironman certified coach, that journey began when I first was not able to complete my first Ironman. So that was in Ironman Zurich in 2013. I had a DNF and I was completely heartbroken at that point of time. There was a lot of expectations from me, and I was disappointed that I could not live up to that expectation. So that's where it prompted me to this journey of exploring how to train myself properly. What are the finer aspects of training? How do I take care of nutrition? And whether I'm overtraining, undertraining. So I studied a lot of stuff around. I completed my Ironman in 2014 in Port Elizabeth, South Africa.
Okay.
And then this Ironman certified coach was launched, and that's something that I said, I think I've got enough knowledge and I need to just make myself an Ironman certified coach. And that's what prompted me to enroll for this program from Ironman University. It was not an easy course, but I scored very good marks in this, and there was an inner voice that told me, Sunil, I think whatever knowledge that you have learned is something that you need to give out to the society and just see how it works. And I felt I might be a good coach. And that's how I started my journey from being an athlete to being a coach.
This is something I find it a difficult question to figure out, and probably you would know better. Are we as a country ready for those distances? From a mindset, from a physique, from a nutrition perspective?
See, the only problem that India has is infrastructure. And the number one infrastructure that we don't have is swimming pools. We need swimming pools in every school in India. If you want us to do well in Ironmans, in triathlons or in any sport, we need to have the infrastructure made. And then it's not about the skill set. I don't believe in something called as talent, because people say Virat Kohli is talented, Sachin is talented. No, it's not talent that has brought them up. It's the sheer hard work. that has brought them. It's the coach that have guided them, that have put them on the top. So if you want to be at the top, you need to start young. If you want an Indian to win an Ironman, it has to start when he is 10 years old. And that will only come when our schools have those infrastructures and the knowledge. Most of the people who do Ironmans are people who've crossed their middle age. They are mostly around 30s. There are very few who are below 25 who've done Ironman, Indians who have done Ironmans.
Right.
So that says a lot. So I don't think there's a dearth in terms of people who are interested in doing an Ironmans. But if you want to do really well, we have to focus on the infrastructure.
Let's hope we get the infrastructure in place sometime soon.
Definitely.
So let me ask the more important question here. What does it mean to a common man when you come and say, I've done an Ironman? What did you do to call yourself an Ironman?
Okay. So Ironman consists of 3 sports combined into one, and it's done one after the other. It's a 3.8k swim in open water. Now open water could be an ocean or a lake, but
right.
mostly it's in open water. It's not done in the pool. After that, you do a 180 kilometer bike ride, which
right.
is just after this. And after you finish your 180k bike ride, you do a 42 kilometer run. It's a marathon distance.
Right.
And once you complete this distance within a specified time, you are called an Ironman.
Right. That's different from winning the Ironman.
Of course.
We just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah,
but it's, I know, but winning or not, it's a distance that's unbelievable for a lot of us even to think about.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's another thing that we know about you as a certified breathing specialist or breathing coach. So tell us how breathing helps us, or not breathing right does not help us doing our running or any other things we do in life.
So the number one thing that most of us face today is we hyperventilate. We are constantly breathing a lot than we are supposed to breathe.
Okay.
Just like eating. Also today we eat more than what our body requires, and that's what makes us obese. So one thing that we need to do is to reduce breathing. Now if you also observe me, moment I speak, I'm also speaking with nasal breathing. I don't breathe through my mouth even when I'm talking.
Okay.
And that requires a lot of practice. First, second thing is breathe less. So when you're breathing, your chest and your tummy should not be expanding, and that's something you need to train yourself. When you come to sports, I again tell my trainees, do nasal breathing. Breathe in from your nose, breathe out from your nose, because
right.
that is like a safe boundary that you create so that you don't exceed your safe zone and you don't overtrain yourself or you don't overexert yourself. Breathing controls everything. Your heartbeat, your organs function,
right.
Everything is controlled by your breath. You can survive without water for a few days. You can survive without eating food for a year, but you can't survive without breathing for more than 5 minutes.
Again, this is a follow-up question on that. So when we train, we obviously want to make sure you're using your nose to breathe in. Would we do the same when you're racing? Is it a possibility, or it's something that you should try or aspire to try?
See, you make yourself comfortable so much that you won't require to breathe in through your mouth at any point of time.
Okay.
Of course, in the last few meters, you might want to breathe in through your mouth, but hyperventilation actually causes your performance to degrade. It does not enhance your performance in any way.
That's okay.
Right? Because the benefits of nasal breathing is optimum oxygen utilization. When you breathe in less or you breathe in with nasal breathing, you're giving your lungs enough time to absorb the oxygen, enough time for it to warm the air to reduce, your body heat. And there are a lot of benefits with nasal breathing, which when you apply it when you're in your run, you can run fantastically with less efforts and optimum energy.
So another aspect of this kind of training that you have is the slower training, the low stress training that you ask everyone to do, including me I'm not such a good student of yours, but tell me about this, the lower stress that you insist on with your trainees to take during the training.
Yeah, I always insist in training low, and 80% of your workouts, 80% of whatever training you do has to be at a lower heart rate.
Okay.
And only 20% is required to be in the anaerobic zone. So if we divide our workouts into aerobic and anaerobic means you're trying to use more fat as fuel. And anaerobic means you're going to use more of your glycogen resources, which is a limited resource. So for an endurance sport like marathon, you need to train your body to use fat as fuel, because fat, there are unlimited stores. You can go for even for 20 to 14 days without just eating anything. You can still go for an endurance workout. No, because you have that many fat stores in your body. But with glycogen resources, it's limited. We've got around 2000 calories of glycogen resource that's there in our liver, which can burn out very fast if you go at a very fast rate. So when you train low, you're actually training your body to use fat as fuel, because you're giving enough time. You're training your body and mind, and that takes time. So most of your workouts should be at low intensity.
So this is a question I'm sure a lot of people have asked you and a lot of trainees of yours too. How long does it take to get used to that fat burning mode of, get your body trained to the fat burning mode?
See, it's very person to person dependent. It depends on how much you have abused your body in the past.
Right.
If you've had a lifestyle where you've eaten a lot of junk food, or you've not taken care of your body, obviously the journey is going to be more tough, right? For a person who's already healthy, who's been eating healthy, who's fit, the journey is much more easier and smooth. So you'll see results much faster than the person who's not taking care of his health. So it's personal. But one thing that's very important for us to note here is to measure the progress. And we have certain tests that we do periodically every 4 weeks, if you know of our training plan, where we measure the progress of your results as to how is your aerobic measurement coming up,
right?
How is the anaerobic measurement coming up? So those tests are important, so that we can either rework on the program and to see what changes we need to make in order to make it more effective, or to say, wow, you're on target, so let's continue with the program.
Explain to us this test. I know it's not easy to explain in one shot, but what's the goal that we are achieving every 4 weeks that we do this test?
Okay, so the first thing that we do is the MAF test. It's called the Maximum Aerobic Function Test, and that was designed by Phil Maffetone. It's basically 180 minus your age. So if you're 40 years old, you will actually try to do 5 repeats of 1.6 kilometers at a heart rate of 140, not exceeding 140. And then when I see those results, I interpret them and check out whether you have a cardiac drift or whether your aerobic. So if your pace is from your first lap to your last lap is more than 40 seconds, which means you have a cardiac drift. And your aerobic capacity is not good. And that is something that then as a coach, I need to redesign your workouts or give you different workouts that will help you improve that score.
Right.
So there's a lot of analysis that's done on the MAF test. People think it's only about pace, but it's not about the pace. There are a lot of statistics that go into it. I always tell my trainees to keep a log of the MAF tests that they do, so that they can actually plot a graph and see whether they've progressed.
They're getting better.
How is it? And there are various factors also that you need to take care when you are doing a MAF test. It has to be done at the same time, the same place, so that we reduce the environmental and other factors that might play a role in changing your MAF test results.
Right. Following up from this conversation, there's this habit of runners who believe the more you train, the better you get. So the tougher you train, the faster you get, and all that, right? Obviously leads, people see results, some people don't see results. tell us how you want your trainees to go about it. And let me use the word, the overtraining phenomenon.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people who believe that more is better, and that's not the case. If you do more, does not mean that it's better. In fact, it can be detrimental. And also how you train is more important. Most of the people, when they train in a way where, if they don't feel that they have trained, like for example, they don't run at a certain pace or a certain distance, they feel they have not trained at all, right? At the end of the training, they should feel fatigued, or at the end of the training, they want to post in Facebook, I did this distance at this pace, and say, and get accolades. But that's not what training is all about, right? Training is about you, and the process that you're doing it, right? It's not about the distance, it's about the time that you put in. And that's more important for your body. Your body adapts to the time, it does not adapt to the distance. And when you train your body, you need to train your body in a low way, in a way where you're not going to zone 3. If I have to talk about zone 3, is like above math, 180 minus age. If you have a heart rate monitor, you can easily find out that.
Right.
It's consistently training 80% at a lower heart rate. So even when you're training for a marathon, if you want to train for a marathon, your pace must be at least 2 minutes slower than your marathon goal pace.
Right.
For your long runs, so that your body adapts to it. That means that will give you a proper result. And many people don't realize this. They just go in and run the distance and hours they put in, and finally after running they do stretching and they get injured.
You've always said and kind of insisted with us not to stretch after a long run. Please explain the science behind it or the reasons behind it.
See, the science behind it is very simple. Right? After your workout, after you've done your long run, your muscles are fatigued. Right? What happens? Your muscles are like gentle tissues, right? They are tissues. So what happens is they become like a hot elastic band. And imagine if I have an elastic band with me and I just try to stretch it and it's hot, what's going to happen?
Obviously going to damage, yeah.
It's going to tear, right? At a certain point of time. Perfect. And that tear won't be at that point of time. You might just feel the tear in the next run, or when you go home and you sit on your sofa and you get up, you suddenly see, oh my, this is caught. So the tear, so when you stretch your muscles after your muscles are fatigued, that's the worst thing that you can do to the muscle. Right? So what do? The best cool down is to walk. Let your body naturally cool down itself. Second thing I would recommend is leg drains. The third thing is use a foam roller or self-massage so that you relax your muscles. Those are the things that I would recommend. I would love to see people using foam rollers after their run rather than doing stretching after their run. Right.
I'm sure we're all going to go home and try all that out today. Right. So tell me about this kind of off running and coming more into your personal thing. How's life after IT as a coach?
It's been an incredible journey. If you have to ask me, I've grown tenfold.
Nice.
Over what I was before I left IT. That's because I've interacted with a lot of people, and those interactions have always been a learning experience. I've always seen what can I learn from Chaitanya, what can I learn from some other persons. Every person, every interaction that I've done, I've been a learner. Right. And as a coach, if I have to be successful, I have to keep learning and giving. Right? So I have always followed this mantra, learn, implement, and again re-implement. Learn, it's a constant cycle, right? If you keep your knowledge to yourself and you don't give it out, it's of no use.
True.
Right? It's okay to fail, As a coach, I've always been modifying the workouts, modifying things, and feel, I think I can make this better. I should do this better. if started audio messages.
Right.
It's just as a part of trying to connect with my trainees on a daily basis. If they hear my voice, there's a different feeling altogether. Audio workouts that I've come out with, I want to make sure that I'm the best coach. Every day I get up, I say to myself, Sunil, you're the best coach. And it's not me comparing with other coaches in India or around the world. It's me comparing with what I was yesterday. Right?
True.
What can I do today? What is the magic that I can create today is what I always think. Is there something more I can give to my trainees? Is there something more I can do? And that's what drives me. And when I say I'm the best, I always think, what will the best coach do at this situation? And that's how I interact with my trainees. Even when I give you a WhatsApp message and say, Chaitanya, please call me. I always think, what should I do? And then sometimes I just pick up the call and I say, Chaitanya, call me back. So sometimes Chaitanya says, I'm busy in Goa, enjoying my vacation, I'll call you back, and he doesn't call me back. So
I know. Let's trying to wrap up the conversation.
Sorry, I don't mean to pull your leg here.
we want you to pull our leg. So if we were to give, or you were to give one advice to a runner, what would that be? Something that would change their ability to run or their mindset towards running.
See, the first advice I would tell is all humans are made for running, and running a marathon won't kill you. Okay, that's one thing that you do. The second thing is enjoy the process. I always tell my trainees, the more closer you are to nature, the more you will enjoy it. The more you take yourself away from nature. Running in treadmills is not closer to nature. Absolutely. Running in an AC environment, go out, run in a forest, run in the jungle, run in open, run on the beach. Feel the sand on your legs, run barefoot, breathe, do nasal breathing. That's the first advice that I give. Go more closer to nature. The more you are to nature, the more healthier you'll be, the more you'll enjoy running.
Okay, a lot of runners do actually get injured and they try to recover, they go through a lot of anxiety getting through it. Give some advice to those runners who are trying to get out of injuries.
Yeah, see, like I already told before, stretching after a run is one of the main causes of injury. The second major cause of injury is form, your running form. And many people, they don't get it right. And one of the simplest way that I would recommend for any person who wants to recover from injury is to run barefoot.
Okay.
Barefoot on the ground, on the grass, so that your body feels the ground.
Right.
Today we've got shoes, we've insulated ourselves from the feel of the ground. So the moment you feel the ground, you get a good running stance. Your running form automatically improves. So running barefoot is very important. I'm not saying that you should run barefoot for all your runs, but barefoot running is very helpful. The third aspect that I would tell is strength training. So many people ignore strength training. They say, oh, I've done my run, I'm doing cycling, swimming, why do I need to do strength training? Strength training plays a very important role because there are primary muscle groups and secondary muscle groups. The secondary muscle groups support your primary muscle groups.
Right.
For example, when you run, okay, you're running with your glutes, your hamstrings and your quads. But what about hip flexors? What about your obliques? What about your transverse abdominis? Nobody cares for it. And that's where glutes and people injure themselves. I've seen a lot of people getting injured because they are not done an overall strength training. So it's important to look at those smaller muscle groups also, support muscle group and strengthen them. Groin injury is something that many people face.
Right.
So strengthening your groin, strengthening those small muscle groups that play a major role will go a long way in preventing injury from running.
Super, awesome. So, is there something else we can do for us in life who are sitting most of the time so that it helps into our running life?
You should never sit. Sitting is next to smoking. So you should always stand. And if you can't stand, I would always suggest that remove your shoes when you're walking. You don't require shoes. And always there's something called as movement snacking. Make sure you put a timer. Every 50 minutes, you get up from your bench, go for a round, do some physical movements, and make sure that you're moving your body. Right? Your body and spirit is not meant to be sitting in one place. You are supposed to be moving, right? You have to move. The more you move, the more the energy circulation happens. The less you move, the less you'll be active and you'll not get those ideas that you want.
Awesome. So we're going to start with our rapid fires, right? What do you think is your best dance move?
Oh, I love dancing, and Shah Rukh Khan is my favorite movie star, and I try to imitate him a lot. So yeah, I like that ye kali aankhein do, that style, and chamma or the chaiya. So I like that chaiya move, and I like Salman Khan's trance move. Oh Jaane Jana, where he moves his leg, and Dil Chahta Hai, where they all move with that one leg around. So there are quite a lot of dance moves. Though I've tried to copy Hrithik, but he's a superb dancer. You cannot copy his steps.
So have you had success with your dance moves in terms of the opposite genders?
Oh yeah. That's the main point of attraction, right? So I like to dance, and when I get a compliment, it even triggers me more. And I did this stupid thing, when I was in Kerala. I'd gone for a wedding, and I had already torn my ACL, which is getting better. And a lot of beautiful females were there, and I was dancing, and they were saying, "Wow, you dance so well." And I got a bit carried off. And I again managed to twist my leg in pain. I was in a lot of pain, but I couldn't show that pain, because it's something that I cannot show. I'm a brave man, right? So, yeah, dance has helped me in a way where I had to take a decision to go for surgery.
Give us your favorite running quote.
Favorite running quote? I would just say, go out, enjoy your run, be with nature. You meant to be with nature. You're part of nature. So, just don't pull yourself out. Just be one. Listen to the birds, listen to the noise around you, and just be one with nature.
What was the toughest race you ever did?
Getting married.
You are going to be in trouble for this.
It's a never-ending race, right? So, no, jokes apart, but definitely, doing the 100-kilometer ultra marathon in Bangalore was toughest. Because it really tested my abilities. I don't believe in using painkillers any point of time, and I was in a lot of pain during my 100-kilometer run. I took 12 and a half hours to complete it, and that was the toughest one, and I learned a lot from that race.
Tiger Shroff or you, who's got the better six-pack?
I would still go with myself, because I don't know how Tiger Shroff has got a six-pack. I cannot challenge that. But my six-packs are natural. I don't have to work out to get the six-pack. I was born with six-packs. So I think I'm a better six-packer than Tiger.
So who do you enjoy training more? The female athletes or the male athletes?
Yeah, I have to tell you, male athletes are a big pain. They don't respond. There are very few who respond, but female athletes are the ones who have found them to be more serious with their training regimen, very open and very regular in updating their results. So I just love working with female athletes more, because I get a good response from them.
It's got to do with your charm or something, or just men are bad?
I don't think it's my charm, it's their passion.
I know, I just wanted to get you there. Which of swimming, cycling or running is the easier one to train, in your opinion?
See, running is the simplest one to train, because you don't require a specific equipment to train. And we are born runners, right? We are born to run. So it's a natural thing for all of us to run. It's another thing that we've insulated ourselves and wearing shoes, and that's brought a lot of muscle imbalances. But running is something that's natural to us. Swimming and cycling is not natural to us, and that needs to be taught. So swimming is the toughest, running is the easiest, and cycling is the middle.
Thanks, Sunil. Awesome. Hope you enjoyed our interaction with Sunil. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.